Guys, welcome to the Investing Bros, where we go live every single weekday morning.
Looking at today, guys, so far what we've had come out this morning was initial jobless claims. Was at 236,000 people last week claiming unemployment. Was consensus and forecast to be 245K. We came in higher than that at 248,000 jobs cut. So almost 250,000 jobs in the past week. People filed for unemployment. So up a little bit there. We will be looking at job openings coming in today at 8 a.m. my time. That would be 10 a.m. over there on the Eastern Coast. JOLTS job openings is going to be the number of jobs, non-farm related, that were created for the last month. Right now, it looks like it's going to be less of those. So we got higher jobless claims of unemployment and less jobs being created potentially. So we'll be watching for that today. Tomorrow, unemployment rate, non-farm payroll, see if people are getting paid more or if they're unemployed. And right now, it does look like it's either neutral or it's going to be at 3.6% below what it currently is at. True inflation coming in down 0.02% at 2.33% today, guys. Moving down towards that actual 2% on the old methodology to see if that's going to match up. This is what we want to get down there before they'll stop with all the rate hikes and rate pauses and actually start pulling it down. I don't know that that's going to happen. We'll look at the FOMC, see what you're seeing over there in a minute. But let's finish it off right here with liquidations. Looking at liquidations right now at $92.3 million in wrecked individuals in the past 24 hours. A majority of those being in shorts, but almost 50-50 of what we're looking at there. So that's what I've got for there, Tim, on the macroeconomic side.
There's some slight differences this morning in what was happening. First of all, it's jumped up to 94%. 94% now of CME futures predictors are saying we're going to get that 25 basis point rate hike here in July. We, of course, still have about 20 days, so still roughly 3 weeks or so. But that is getting close to being just about a sure thing. September, it's still predicting we're going to hold. Not necessarily a serious prediction that we're going to get a rate hike there. Although November, I was noticing this morning, it got a little more momentum in November to have a rate hike. And do we have a higher one in December? Yeah, I think that was the other one. We're seeing May of 2024 is the first time we're predicting a rate cut coming in here very soon. Let's go ahead and transition away. We're going to keep going on with the show this morning. Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index, that is recommending this morning that we should be purchasing some pants.
This is kind of triggering for me to see here, Tim.
My computer heard that you were officially out of the military and they said not so fast, you know?
One out, one in.
We're not doing that.
Get some good axes and wallets. 56 right now on the Fear and Greed Index. Still in the greed, but we are down from yesterday's 61, which is kind of funny because the price, of course, unless you guys were under a rock and you didn't hear, we shot up and hit new year highs. Yes, we're a little bit down. We're back down to 30,600. But this morning, let's go ahead and pop over to our chart this morning. You guys can see here on this wick. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to really make this nice and clean for you guys. First of all, before I even show you the price, you guys can see this green line right here is higher than this, the former high for the year right here. Boom, 31,525. That is the now new yearly high set earlier this morning on Bitcoin. Of course, we are coming back down, but something you guys should keep keep in your mind. We have been talking here on the Investing Bros about this formation that Bitcoin has been forming. Guess what we did? We just ran right back up to the resistance level, hit our heads there. Something I definitely want to also make sure you guys walk away from the show understanding. If this was a standalone price action, if we didn't have any of this stuff over here, I think there's an outside chance you could look at these last couple of candles here on the 4-hour chart and say, oh, is that a blow off top? I mean, that is a hammer. That is what we'd also call a shooting star. A shooting star, well, there's lots of names for it. Shooting star is one of the names. You could say that that's a bearish candle right there. And for right now, we're heading to the downside. The difference is, though, is we've had a lot of price action in this same exact time. With this one, I'm not going to call this a blow off top. I'm going to call this just a normal price action. And where we candle wick, eventually we will stick. I don't know if that's exactly how that expression goes, but you get the gist of it.
Oh, you ruined it.
That which gets wicked gets candlesticked, Tim. I'm freestyling, bro.
You guys can see we came up and hit our head on resistance. We came in our way back down here. We haven't even touched the support yet. If we do, not the end of the world. I went ahead this morning, also extended. This was a line that we had last week drawn, and you guys will notice this line has still been relevant because we came down here and touched it and used it as support here just a couple of days ago. So the TA is still holding up. I'm still holding bullish. This price prediction is looking more and more likely, especially with the weight we're going. Guys, I still believe that 36K it's a good level to at least take some profits. There's still a chance that we make a pop up to 42, go up to our Fibonacci levels from the top of the last bull market down to the bottom of this bear market that we have been in. I'm not ready to say we're a full launch into a bull market. You guys know I'm calling this rally a pre-bull market rally, but I do believe the bottom is in. So I believe the bear market's over. We're kind of in our more sideways lull, even though we're still moving up to the right before the real bull market starts, probably later on, probably early 2024. Anyway, you guys can see right here that 0.382 level sitting at 36K. That's one of the reasons why I still believe that level is one that's going to be hard for the Bitcoin price to really surpass with any speed and strength. If it does, though, I'm holding out, hey, maybe 42, maybe 40K, 42. You're going to get a level of a wick coming up there. Maybe we get a blow off top at 42. Cardano possibly come back up here and hit this level of resistance that used to be support over here, maybe around 38, 40 cents. And then they dip back down. The Bitcoin dominance is just going to continue to boom to the upside, which is why I do believe we're seeing 60% coming here very, very soon. Either way, guys, again, long term, I'm a big believer in Cardano. Let's tune this positive because, yes, the price action on Cardano right now, not very positive. You're not making a lot of money right now in your trade. Let's turn it positive, though. Guess what? It's so low. It is so oversold still. You still have a lot of time to be accumulating sub 30 cents Cardano. Just because the alts are not doing well right now, I still believe Cardano is going to be setting $7, $10 here next bull market. The tops are not changing, but what's nice is the price is still suppressed, which is a great reason to keep scooping some up.
Taking a look at Ethereum here, guys. Ethereum had a nice little pump up just like Bitcoin did last night. Rejected right here on the auto printed trend lines that we had on Chart Prime here. Got a nice rejection off of it. Coming down. Right now, I'm watching for the trend assist, which is this green line traveling right here. And then I'm also going to be watching the dynamic reactors. So it looks like they're going to converge here. We could see a little downside to get a bounce off of that. But right now, we are pulling back up. I do think that we're going to see Tim Wick happen here. I'm just going to call it a Tim Wick from now on.
Let's go. I like
it. I mean, it's
I'll
a wick. It's a wick that's going to get filled in through blunt force. So that's what I'm going to call a Tim Wick from now on. Let's go ahead and pull out my oscillators. Loose setup here that I'm working with where I get all my oscillators nice and bright over here. So we can see right now we did have the momentum dot and the ribbon twist where it was coming back in here. It pumped up and now we're starting to get a little curvature there on the Prime Oscillator Pro. Also, the trend is starting to curve a little bit and money flow is still coming down. That's what I had told you guys about earlier in the week, that I was worried about this money flow coming down regardless of how things were looking, and that I would need to see this flip before I would start to get bullish again, because on the Trend Fusion Oscillator, the money flow index is definitely not bullish right now. Looking at the Prime RSI, we are about to hit back down below the 30 level. So maybe we get, down to those levels that I was talking about there, get that nice little bounce. That's enough for this to be out of that 30 level again. Fast versus slow mover can turn around back up to the upside, give this another bounce down here, maybe off of the bullish zone, and get that money flow to turn back up in this range here. So that's what I'm watching on Ethereum there.
BlackRock CEO Larry Fink, maybe you've heard of him. He said Bitcoin could revolutionize finance. I've got some details here highlighted, but Piper, I believe you've got a clip for us to go ahead and play.
And also, I do believe the role of crypto is it's digitizing gold in many ways. Instead of investing in gold as a hedge against inflation, a hedge against the onerous problems of any one country, or the devaluation of your currency, whatever country you're in. Let's be clear. Bitcoin is an international asset. It's not based on any one currency, and so it can represent an asset that people can play as an alternative. I would call the foundation of BlackRock is about hope. You invest for retirement because you believe tomorrow is better than today.
Boom. Right there. You gotta love
Is Larry Fink from like Pennsylvania or like, I swear that he sounds exactly like my grandparents that are like from the Pennsylvania area. Everything has a very strong pronunciation at the end of the word. I mean, flashbacks of my childhood of hanging out with my grandparents.
Fed sees more rate hikes ahead, but at a slower pace, meeting minutes show. So the NASDAQ, kind of having a natural moment here, and the Dow and the S&P. Meta launches Instagram Threads in a direct challenge to Twitter. Threads is a text-based message app that looks very similar to Twitter. people will be able to use their Instagram username on Thread and follow the same accounts on Thread as they do on Meta's photo sharing app. The release of Threads is noteworthy, considering that Twitter has suffered a wave of mishaps under the ownership of Tesla, Elon Musk leaving the popular social messaging app vulnerable to competing apps. This is FUD and opinion, I would say.
Wow, you made it to the end of the video. Great job. Now, if you want more content like this, whether it be TA on Bitcoin and Ethereum or altcoins, or you just want to stay up to date on the latest and greatest news in crypto, then stay tuned and tune in to our 9 a.m. live show every single weekday morning. It's 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And when you tune in live, use the keyword grip strength in the chat, and you'll get a special shout out from anyone who's paying attention to the chat. Love to see you there.